shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, so that's St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning. Today's the 19th in the month of August already. Good morning, Nicole. Good morning, Rajiv.
Morning.
Good morning, Maka. Good morning, Rajiv. To what do I owe this joy of having the two best male voices in the St. Vincent and the Grenadines region accompany me this morning? Only I feeling special.
Wow. How's things going, Nicole? How things?
Oh gosh, I'm good. We had a lot of rain, but I'm good. When rain falls where I live, electricity goes. So
yeah, there's always.
We have plenty bamboo out here. So
for some reason, Trinidad, when rain comes, the electricity goes.
Yeah. So and the joke with me, when I have no electricity, I have no water and I have no food because my stove is electric. So Papa yo. But all good. All good. How are you all?
You know the best thing to do? Migrate and come over.
Well, you keep tempting me. Listen to me. Y'all keep tempting me. And all I like is a good adventure, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't resist a good adventure. Good morning, St. Vincent and the Grenadines and everyone listening far and wide. Hope y'all are good.
All righty then. All right, so let me say good morning to everybody. All the folks who are heading to work, wherever you're heading this morning. Good morning. So Raji, if you listened to the press conference yesterday?
Didn't listen live, but I read most of the reports afterwards. So pretty much abreast of what
I didn't get a chance to
I was on
listen.
I think I was on the road.
other places, but I got to listen to some little clippings and
what stood out to you?
Some goodies, man. We have some goodies.
Yeah. Stuff to talk about for sure.
Yeah.
We got commentary on crime, people, business, prospective business owners or entrepreneurs have stuff to look forward with the development bank.
The commentary on crime, that's the word that really
stuck out to you.
Stood out to me, yeah. What do you think? Maybe things might change?
A part of it that stuck out to me, in particular to crime, is where he said that there are persons with information pertaining to the flow of the weapons into the country,
right?
And he found it concerning that nothing was being done about that. So I don't know if something is now going to be done. Now that he is aware of the issue. This is one of those things where we have to see.
It's going to be something really, really difficult to tackle in terms of, guns coming into the country.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but the Prime Minister said it's something that it seems to me that this is news that just came to him, that people were aware of this information. So maybe now he's going to, I know he's not the Minister of National Security, obviously, right. But I'm sure he'll work in conjunction with his colleague, Minister Lee Govt,
CPO and all that. So.
And maybe we're going to see an operation come up. But remember, he can't say too much about a crime fighting operation right off the bat. Because then, that's like a tipping off the other side, and these as we discussed yesterday, these criminals ain't dumb guys.
No, they are very smart.
Yeah, so
it's an industry.
That is the perfect word that Nicole used. It's an industry.
Yeah,
they have their own accountants and everything, just like any regular business out there.
All right, so we're gonna play your video of what the Prime Minister mentioned yesterday about crime.
Prime Minister, while you were away, St. Vincent and the Grenadines had to deal with troubling incidents Friday, Saturday, Sunday, going into Monday. Have you been able to get a report from the Acting Commissioner of Police? And what assurance can you give the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines that the crime situation is being tackled head on?
Well, you didn't specify what the troubling issues were. But,
sorry, my apologies. I'm speaking of shooting Friday evening, shooting Saturday morning.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these are things, I mean, shootings, and when we're in opposition, we talk a lot about this because it's not something you want to see in your country. We have given the commitment that we are going to tackle this problem head on. We have made certain assurances that we are given. The Deputy Minister of National Security has been very forthright in his pronouncements about it, but it takes a little time to get it going. We have made certain changes as well. I held a meeting in Bequia about a month ago. That's how long ago? What, 2 weeks ago? With the high-ranking, all the top, the commissioner and deputy commissioner and Coast Guard and various other high-ranking police officers came, and we sat around the table and discussed the challenging situation. Of course, Deputy PM was there and his PS, and we talked about this exact thing, that we know that the situation is unacceptable, and part of the problem, and I mean, it was an eye-opener for me too, because part of the problem is that there's just simply too many guns coming into St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We don't manufacture them, yet everybody seems to be able to get one who wants one. This has to end. And what was disturbing is that there seems to be some intelligence as to where they are coming into the country, and so you can't just simply know something and do nothing about it. So we have started to put in place. We're putting in place a plan to deal with that aspect of it. But there's also the policing, has to change. The Deputy Prime Minister has said that. We have had a commitment now we have had some changes in the police service as well, police force. We have the top ranking officers. We've made certain changes indicating to the public that, new sheriff in town.
All right, so
New sheriff in
that's
town.
it. The Prime Minister mentioned the policing has to change, right? I remember Life mentioned that communication between the police and the public, that is very important as well.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But communication is one part of it. You see, with stuff like crime, and so some might hear what he said and say, "Oh, it's just a bunch of political speech and whatnot." But you have to also understand that he can't really say too much at this point in time, because if you have a strategy to fight crime, you don't want the criminals to know how you're coming at them.
Right.
So
it
is there's a lot of wait and see, but at least an address happened. Maybe that would comfort some of those who.
Well, yeah. Same thing I was saying, they're gonna comfort some persons.
Yeah, you feel a bit better. It's like when you have a nightmare and then you run to your parents' room and they tell you, no, this is what they comfort you. So in that case, the government is the daddy.
And I noticed, I think, is in Antigua. Antigua is doing the same. They are, battling with the same thing in terms of crimes. I know Trinidad, Nicole, maybe will tell us a bit about Trinidad in terms of crime as well.
I mean, the region is riddled with crime, and the thing is, the crimes are very similar. It's gun violence. It's a lot of violence on the ground, and it is concerning as far as a crime fighting strategy goes. I can't say much for what's happening. I mean, in terms of our outcomes, but there will always be that element of concern that it will hopefully end one day. But rigid action has to be taken, you see. It's not like, and as Rajiv says, you can't disclose because remember something, this is an industry and it comes with all the elements that an industry has, including intelligence. And just as much as there is intel in terms of the crime fighting policies and actions that will be taken, there's intel inside of their ways of structuring their strategies around committing crime. And it's not new. The criminal industry, an element, and I will use the word industry very cautiously, but it's true. An element is not something that is easily penetrated.
As change it off to say, right, there is a form of making money too.
That's why it's an industry. And you know, just as Rajiv said, there are sectors within the industry. There is that element of making sure that it's financed well, for example, and that whatever is a supply, the supply chain doesn't get reduced. So when you talk about the supply chain for crime, it is actually something that exists and is real. Who's getting the guns on the road? Who's funding that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so from that perspective, it is an industry and it's difficult to penetrate. It's definitely, so I mean, I'm not even talking country here, I'm just talking globally.
Yeah.
There is a difficulty to penetrate that industry because of the strength of it, the power of it, and the actual engagement that happens inside within it.
Yeah. But the use of the word global is very fitting as well, because as the Prime Minister pointed out, we don't manufacture guns here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So
neither in Trinidad. As far as we know. You know what, Lamash? As far as we know, let me rephrase that as far as we know.
Because I think there was a report, I don't know if it's Trinidad, I think there's also the ghost gun situation that's going on as well. But I don't know how common that really is there or in the wider Caribbean. But he did point out that we don't manufacture guns here, so that they have to be coming from somewhere.
Yep.
We know who is one of the biggest manufacturers of guns in the world. And we've seen several cases of persons attempting and being caught trying to smuggle weapons from that country into different countries in the region, St. Vincent, Grenada, etc.
One of the main things is trying to get the guns off the street as well.
Yes.
You know, I mean, we all know that we have to stop it from coming in, but get them off the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
and it has to be a multi-pronged approach. Right? You can't just stop it from coming in and don't get it off the street, as you correctly said. Exactly. And you know, so it really is it's a vicious cycle. Mm-hmm. But we have to think about something. If there were no transportation mechanisms, we won't have this. Yes. So we have to understand that there are diverse transportation mechanisms that are also contributing to access. So it's a strong sense of agency not both agency and urgency. It's urgent, but then there's agency in terms of how it gets from one place to the next. So that is strong.
Yeah. All right. That's going to wrap things up for this morning inside this segment. We got 26 minutes on to 8 o'clock in the morning time. We got our traffic talk coming up shortly. I see we have let me just take this call quickly, Rajiv. All right, let me take this call. Hello, morning.
Morning, caller.
Hello, morning. All right, seems like they're supposed to don't want to talk to us this morning. All right, we're going to wrap things up and, of course, come back with Traffic Talk right here on WEFM.
Are you ready? This September, the CPL finals come to the Maka.